Hello and welcome to Stillness and Success. We are back for another year in 2026. First of all, I want to wish you a heartfelt Happy New Year. Wishing you and your family growth, happiness, success, fulfillment, and just ease in everyday activities, easiness, so you can enjoy your life and be fulfilled. Now, during the break, you might have noticed that we were we were away for a couple of weeks, so we didn't publish anything, and it was because I went to India with a group of my meditators. We went there for a retreat, and the experience was so beautiful. I met a couple of people who were really interesting, and I thought I'll interview them. So I'll bring those stories to you as well. And what happened one of these days was I was sitting and I was doing the interview, and my wonderful colleague Karen Warner came and said, "Okay, now you need to move out of here because I'm going to be interviewing you today." So there I was, just held hostage. I had to move from my seat. She took my seat and she just took over, and she asked me some really deep and personal questions. And a few of you have been asking questions about my life and where I come from and like that. So we thought maybe it would be nice to just start the year and you can see my colleague host the podcast rather than me. And then I'll be back for the following week with the podcast with guests as well. So anyway, this is Karen Warner taking over Stillness and Success and interviewing the host of Stillness and Success, Mustafa Nuristani. I hope you enjoy it. Please share it with your family and friends and make sure you subscribe, and let's have a wonderful year together.
Welcome to Stillness in Success podcast. My name is Karen Warner, and I've commandeered this podcast today. Today, I'm going to have a conversation with Mustafa Nuristani, who is the host of this podcast. Because as you know, if you've been watching these podcasts, Mustafa has interviewed many people of differing experiences and from all walks of life. So I thought it would be interesting, and you may be curious, to know more about Mustafa himself. So, hello, Mustafa.
Thank you, Karen.
And welcome to your podcast.
Well, thank you. I'm just so surprised because you didn't say anything about this, and I actually have my guest who I'm going to be interviewing, who's just standing behind the camera. So you're just hijacking this thing. So I'm all yours. Please go ahead.
Wonderful. So I don't know whether you know, but Mustafa is a teacher of Transcendental Meditation. And he's also a husband, and he's a father of now 3 beautiful baby boys, one which is roughly 3 weeks old.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
But we'll go back to Mustafa as a TM teacher. So, Mustafa, we know that you teach in Melbourne, Australia. So what other places have you taught TM?
Oh, beautiful question. Well, what happened when I had this desire to teach Transcendental Meditation? It was my first experience when I meditated, when I transcended. It was just that first experience when I came out. I was like, I need to teach this because I had tried so many other meditations and they hadn't worked. And this finally worked. And I was like, I need to teach this. And then the second thought was, I need to teach my family and I need to teach everyone in Afghanistan because that's where I'm from. And so that was the desire, the impulse that I experienced as soon as I came out of my first meditation. And then I went on and I became a TM teacher and I started teaching in Australia. And then about 2 months later, I went to Afghanistan and I taught some beautiful people over there. And yes, then I started teaching in India and in Bangladesh and in Europe. And so, yeah.
That's remarkable, absolutely remarkable. What a beautiful story. But also, you've had a...
I just don't know what to think because she's doing all of this interview and go on.
You've had a remarkable life. And I just want you to talk a little bit about before you became a TM teacher, what your life entailed.
Oh, wow. So before, when I learned Transcendental Meditation, I was actually an international model. So I'd been traveling around the world for a number of years. And before I became a model full time, I did my degree in criminology. And I did a short little stint in that area and very quickly found out that it's not something that I want to pursue. And then I had done some modeling already. And so I just decided I just want to travel the world. I just want to enjoy the world. So that took a few years. And then I didn't want to be like, a 30-year-old model. Like I was just like, there needs to be more that I should do with my life than look good, which,
we know,
it's important. And then anyway, so I said, I want to do something that will allow me to contribute. And I'd done criminology for that reason as well. Being from Afghanistan and war and, corruption and all of that. And so I said, I'll do criminology so I can help make Australia a better place, make it, safer and like that. But I realized that wasn't my thing. And now I was thinking, what am I going to do? And I decided to become a journalist. And so I went and I retrained and I went to Monash University and got my journalism degree. And then I started working in that field. And I continued meditating. So I was meditating regularly because I couldn't not meditate. And then it was this incredible experience that I had. I'd been working as a journalist and I was very busy. And there was this opportunity to go to Holland, where Maharishi lived for the last 15 years of his life or something like that. And there they had this, like a retreat kind of celebration kind of something. And I went there and I met with all of these incredible people, just devoted people. And they're not devoted to anyone or anything. They were devoted to creating peace on earth. They were devoted to creating an environment where everyone feels safe and secure and fulfilled from within. And I was thinking, oh my God, like these people, they spend their own money, they spend their own whole lives and just dedicated to making the world a more happy place. And I'm thinking, why am I wasting my life? Well, it felt like I was wasting my life with journalism. I was like, no, I can't be spreading stress because you see, with journalism, it's, if it bleeds, it leads. If it's got a lot of horrible things in it, then it's going to be front page. And so I'm not sure how exciting this is going to be because there's a constant noise. And being the host, I think I'm very attuned to noise. So now that you've had that break, and then anyway, so then I said, okay, I'm going to quit my job and I'm just going to become a teacher of Transcendental Meditation. And we have these desires where we want to do something, but then the stress of the world, wanting to be having security, having job security, having a future, having a career, all of these things are constantly keeping us busy and stressed and like chasing and chasing and chasing. And I just felt so liberated to say, no, I don't want to be part of this. It's never ending. The news cycle is 24 hours. It's 24-hour news cycle, which means that it's constantly
pressure,
giving people stress. It's just, and news is important as well. I'm not saying news is not important, but I wanted to do something more on the level of giving people some relief, some small experience of stillness and silence.
Beautiful.
And so that was a short question and a very long answer.
That's beautiful. And it just shows you the rich tapestry of your life. But there's one aspect of your life which you may or may not wish to talk about, and that was in your childhood when you were experiencing trauma and you talked about the unrest in your country. Did you want to talk briefly on that, about the stress that you're under? Because this makes up the fabric of Mustafa. You know, it really does.
So coming out today. It's, what I really deeply love about Transcendental Meditation is that it takes the impact of experiences that are traumatic away. And, before we left Afghanistan, I was about 7 years old, or maybe 6.5, whatever. And the war had broke out and we were in war. There was just rockets flying over and there was no water and we were in a gated, secure area. But that whole place was now being invaded. And anyway, so the last night that we were there, I remember a lot of rockets. That day was really terrible. Dad had gone to work because he was like, I have to go to work. And all of a sudden they took over the area. And all these rockets start flying and we had no water and we were on the 4th floor because that was the fanciest place to live.
Of course.
No, not when you don't have water. And you have to carry buckets of water from the local pump. So it was my 5-year-old brother, 4.5, 5, he's 2 years younger than me, myself, and we had gone down with all of these young kids from the whole neighborhood and the pump. We were pumping water out and getting 2 buckets each. He had a big kettle in his hand and a bucket, and I had 2 big buckets, as big as a 7-year-old can carry. And anyway, so we're pumping the water, and all of a sudden we hear these loud noises that are just flying over, and the sound of a rocket going over is piercing. It's piercing. And we were like, oh my God, run. And so we're running. And when you're in a state of panic, you don't remember to just let go of whatever you're holding on and just run. So here we are running with buckets of water. And we get in and we run, get upstairs, and Grandma and Mom are screaming, are you okay? We're like, we're okay. Dad comes home. That night, the invaders, the Mujahideen at that time, they had gone to some rich person's house they were just living across that was our block, and then there's that person's block. And they were really brutal with the entire family. And they had, anyway, I don't want to get into it because it was too brutal. And so that was the last night, and my dad was like, okay, you have to go, we have to run. And so then we left, and then we went to India. And then as soon as, kids, we arrive in India, we're like, where is Shah Rukh Khan? Where is Salman Khan? We're looking for the celebrities, and we're like, why are there so many people here? So then, we spent about 7 years there. But I didn't know that I was carrying that trauma. I didn't know. And it was on multiple retreats that I went subsequently after learning TM. I came back to Australia. And every retreat I would go to, I would have some kind of an experience of some unstressing or some release. And bit by bit, they were all just falling off. Wonderful. And, now I remember it all, but I don't feel heavy or sad or anything like that about it. It's just a story of my life.
Beautiful. Now, my last question, which you've already answered. You've already answered what brought you to TM. So
yes.
We've already covered that off. So thank you so much for your conversation today. I really enjoyed it, and I hope everybody else has enjoyed Mustafa's story. And I look forward to more interesting and diverse people that you'll be interviewing in the future. Thank you, Mustafa.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you for doing this. That's sweet.